I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Supervisor Moore.
Present.
Councilwoman McNamara.
Here.
Councilman Iacilli.
Present.
Councilman Pell.
Present.
Councilman Martell.
Present.
All right. I move to approve the minutes from the regular town board meeting of April 8th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Madam Clerk, would you please read the communications?
Certainly. We have received communications in the office of the town clerk, public notices from the town of Riverhead, local law adoptions, Village of Sag Harbor, public hearing notice, Village of Southampton Planning Board hearing notices for North Main, 54 North Main, Bridgehampton Realty Group, 105 Willow Street, 38, 40, and 42 Jobs Lane, 25 Windmill Lane, and Zoning Board of Appeals notice for 2020 Meadow Lane, Southampton Village. We have received a New York State liquor license advanced to local municipalities from the listed applicants, and the New York State Office of Cannabis Management notification to municipality by the listed entity. Annual statement of financial disclosure filings were filed by the listed individuals. We received emails and letters and correspondence regarding the following: Battery Energy Storage Systems in Southampton, Chapter 50, discontinuance of video conferencing, Mecox Bay WQIP grants, Planning Board matter of proposed cannabis dispensary in Hampton Bays, proposed Planning Board matter of Kings Lane Estates development in North Sea, Poxabog Field Meadow Sagaponack, safe bike lanes, Shinnecock Nation billboards, and travel plaza in Hampton Bays. The following bid and request for proposals were received on Wednesday, April 16th for Mercury Marine Engines for the Bay Constable, requirements contract for miscellaneous concrete construction for the Highway Department. And that concludes the communications for this meeting's agenda.
Thank you. I have two walk-ons that I'd like to move to add to the agenda. The first is Town Board Resolution ID number 49697, a resolution supporting the creation of an intermunicipal agreement with the County of Suffolk, Village of Sag Harbor, and Town of Southampton to mutually manage real property located at 55 West Water Street in Sag Harbor at the Suffolk County tax map number as indicated, also known as Silly Farm. And the second is Town Board Resolution ID number 49698, which is the warrant number 8. So I move to add those items to the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So, Madam Clerk, would you please call, would you please read the notice for the first public hearing?
Public hearing number 1, to accept a deed of residual fee from Ross N. Conklin for property to be maintained as open space located at Watermill, Suffolk County Tax Map number 947-1-46, pursuant to Southampton Town Code 244-4, obtaining a development right certificate, and 247 General Municipal Law of the State of New York.
Good evening, Town Board, Madam Supervisor. As the Town Clerk mentioned, this is a public hearing on acceptance of a deed. This seems very loud.
No, it does.
Acceptance of a deed for a piece of property in exchange for a development rights certificate. This is the property here in yellow. I think in your package that was sent to you with the resolution, there was a little map, so hopefully you had a chance to look at that. But this is the property here in yellow. You can see the green properties surrounding it that are either town-owned open spaces. In this case, this property here is the entire property is under an easement that was purchased by the Community Preservation Fund. But the property itself is privately owned. The subject property, which is tax map 900-47146, is located in Watermill. It is owned by Ross N. Conklin. The property is 23.871 square feet in size. 23,871 square feet in size, which is 0.548 acres. It's located in the CR 200 zoning district, and it is non-conforming in area and is also landlocked, as you can see. Pursuant to Chapter 244, 2F of the Town Code, one full development right may be allocated for a non-conforming single and separate property that is at least 10,000 square feet in size. A title certification and single and separate search were submitted, which demonstrated that the property has existed as a separate property since prior to 1957. The property is located in the town's Aquifer Protection Overlay Critical Environmental Area. It's also in the Suffolk County Special Groundwater Protection Critical Environmental Area, and it is also on the town CPF Priority Acquisition List. Because of these locations, it qualifies for issuance of a development rights certificate. And as I mentioned, the property is adjacent to existing town-owned open spaces to the south. The applicant's attorney is here if you have any questions for him, but this is pretty straightforward.
Can you actually just point out where the nearest road is, what it is?
Nearest road is Deerfield Road here to the west. This is the power line
Okay.
that runs through. And there are opportunities to get a trail that would go from Deerfield Road over to Little Noyak Path, I think it is. The town has this property here. We're also, the CPF is looking, I believe there's been hearings on acquiring this property or part of this property, and there's opportunities to continue public access in public open space out to Little Noyak Path so that we could have a trail that connects those two streets.
Thank you.
We're giving the owner a development right?
Yes.
Do we usually give a full credit
It
for
depend-
half an acre, or is it usually one per acre?
No, it depends on the criteria in the code. Chapter 244 2F says that if a property is at least 10,000 square feet and is non-conforming to zoning, it qualifies for one full development right. If it's less than 10,000, then it would be half a development right.
I see, okay, thank you. Does anybody have any other questions for Dave? No? All right, I don't have any cards, but let me check and see if anyone's on Zoom. Kevin, is anyone on Zoom for this first public hearing?
No one on Zoom.
Well, then I will move to close this public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
And clerk, would you please read the notice for the second public hearing?
Public hearing number 2 for a local law amending Town Code, Chapter 312, Vehicles and Traffic, amending and adding parking prohibited in designated locations, regulations on a portion of County Road 80, Montauk Highway, East Squaw.
This is simply, there's no one here to present this because this is simply, what was number 9 was a duplication. Instead of changing number 9, it was added as number 24. So we're simply removing the duplication and renumbering. There's no actual changes to any parking.
Just housekeeping. Does anybody have any questions on this one? Okay, then I move to close the public hearing.
Go to Zoom.
Oh, you're right. Kevin, is anyone on Zoom for the second public hearing?
No one on Zoom.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, now I'll move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read the notice for the third public hearing?
Public hearing number 3 to amend Town Code, Chapter 312, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Article 7, entitled Seasonal Parking Restrictions in Designated Locations, Section 312-37, entitled Water Mill, May 15th to September 15th.
There is no one here to present this, as obviously the Highway Department is busy with other matters this evening. And all of the seasonal restrictions that are in here, effective May 15th, are already in effect. It's just adding some new ones, so delaying this till the 13th wouldn't affect those seasonal restrictions. So I'm just gonna ask if we can adjourn this until the May 13th meeting. So Highway can be here.
Sure. This is not going to hold up their making all the signs? We
No,
don't
this
do
is
it
actually,
tonight?
this doesn't have anything to do with that, I don't believe, and that's why I'd asked to be on this, because when I saw it was road ends and I saw the dates, I thought it was for that. But what it actually is currently the way, because I just looked up this section of code, currently the section of code reads that all of these restrictions are May 15th to September 15th. And it appears as though the highway superintendent is adding some year-round restrictions. So that's why the ones that were already there from May 15th to September 15th now note that they're from those dates, because there are now year-round restrictions in that. So I just was also wondering why they put the year-round restrictions in the seasonal parking restrictions section of the code. So I just may as well wait till they can come and explain.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I spoke to them, they had no idea what this was for, so they have to
Okay.
clarify.
Yeah.
Someone has to clarify exactly what this is.
Okay. All right, so we'll adjourn this to, or hold it open rather,
They hold it open.
till the next public hearing date. And we can always withdraw it if it's not something we need to do. May 13th. All right, so I move to hold it over to May 13th.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Madam Clerk, would you please read the notice for the fourth public hearing?
Public hearing number 4 for the consideration of one-year agricultural use agreement for 2025-2026 pursuant to Chapter 247 of the Town Code.
And nobody's here for this one.
This was determined to be something that we usually do every year.
For the parking restrictions? Okay.
Well,
We put it off to the 13th.
agricultural use agreements, and there's a list of all the ones. I mean, unless anybody has any questions about the list, we can,
I'd like to make a motion to close.
Second.
Kevin, is there anyone on Zoom for this fourth public hearing?
No one on Zoom.
Did you say no one?
No one on Zoom. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Right, so Michael, you moving to close the public hearing?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Before we go to public portion, may I make a motion to take a couple of pieces of legislation out of order? Yeah.
There's nobody here to speak during public portion of them?
I know, but I think Charlie and Tom are here to speak,
It's only gonna take
or just in case there are questions, and
It's only going to take a
and
few
then
minutes.
some resolutions pertaining to highway department, and Charlie does need to get back, so I just want to make sure, out of courtesy, just to make sure he's able to get back. So I'd like to, Madam Clerk, I'd like to make a motion to take Resolution 597 on page 58, 589 on page 43, and 600 on page 61 out of order.
Second.
All in favor?
Excuse me.
So the first one is my resolution. This is the resolution accepting the final report of the Traffic Mitigation and Safety Task Force.
What page is that on, Michael?
Page 58. After there was the work session.
Wait, you need to have a second on it.
Oh. Sure.
Second.
We can
Yeah, just
discuss
second.
it.
So you need. Did
You
you vote?
voted.
We
Yeah,
voted.
that's what I thought.
Do you
Yeah.
have a second?
He did.
Bill Pell. Okay, I didn't hear him.
Councilman Bell.
But on the resolution itself.
Yeah, just on the resolution, I just want to mention that.
No, we need to vote on taking them out of order first.
We did.
You just did the taking out of order vote.
Now you
you're
need to
gonna,
read this and get a second on it before we can.
right,
discuss
so
it.
Yeah.
Bill's.
Read it, so in a
Second,
second, then we'll have the discussion.
Resolution 597, 2025. 1 second.
Second.
Okay, this is the resolution accepting the final report of the Traffic Mitigation and Safety Task Force. After the work session that we had a couple of weeks ago, Charlie McCardle and Tom Neely, our co-chairs of the task force, were here. They reviewed the report. There were some discussion. There was some discussion about how certain issues in the report that could be either emphasized, some changing of wording, as well as some comments by some of the board members. those comments were recorded and were substantively changed. We actually met as a subcommittee, and all of the changes were reviewed and discussed. And as you know, I did submit this to you all, I think last week, earlier than anticipated. So I hope you all had a chance to read it. If there are any questions, we do have the co-chairs here, Tom Neely and Charlie McCardle, who would be happy to answer any questions. So motion to
Second.
approve?
I would just like to say, Michael, you followed through with what you said you were going to do, and you put together a nicely balanced task force with a very detailed report and interesting recommendations. So thank you to you and the co-chairs, Tom Neely and Charlie McCardle, and to the rest of the members of the task force.
I really want to thank the task force members and especially Tom and Charlie. They really did a great job, taking this full on. And
Plus, you had a lot of public input on it.
Yeah.
It's very important. A lot of committees don't have public input like this did.
Yeah, we had a lot of.
yeah, every meeting that we had a public portion, which was really nice.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Which is the other one is you. Page 61.
Thank you. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not page 61, page 43. My bad.
Okay. Town Board Resolution 2025-589 to authorize the town attorney to retain outside counsel John Flannery Esquire of Wilson, Elsner, Moskowitz, Edelman, and Dicker LLP to represent the interests of the town highway department as it relates to Spinney Road.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then page 61 is Councilman Pell's resolution.
Town Board Resolution 2025-600. Amend the 2025 adopt budget and transfer of positions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Charles. Tom.
Smooth as silk.
Thank you, Tom. And just an FYI on the report will be available online after tonight or tomorrow morning.
All right. So let's go.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Let's go back to the public portion. I do have two cards. Okay, Jimmy Mack and Alex King. Yeah. You want to come up together? You're welcome to.
I'm Alex King, and I'm chief of Southampton Village Ocean Rescue. And I watched the video from Thursday night, and I saw that there was some confusion regarding local law 2025, amendment to chapter 775, the Suffolk County Code pertaining to the 10% property tax exemption up to 10% for Southampton Village Ocean Rescue members. And I just wanted to clarify any questions on that, and I wanted to introduce myself, and I wanted to explain that Southampton Village Ocean Rescue and East Hampton Volunteer Ocean Rescue are the only two ocean rescue organizations that are 24-hour first responder organizations that are independent of fire and EMS in New York State. So because of that, East Hampton and Southampton have worked very hard with former Assemblyman Fred Thiel and Senator Anthony Palumbo to have certain bills turned into laws so that they give us rights of other first responder organizations. And in doing that, we had to provide a tremendous amount of documentation validating our organization was designated a first responder organization by New York State in 2022 by Governor Hochul. And that gave us the rights to actually get other rights that other first responder organizations have had. And so we have the support of many other departments like fire and EMS, and we can share all that with you.
I think you have all of our support.
Okay.
We just wanted to make sure we weren't leaving anybody out, so we wanted to make sure
I
that
get
West
that.
Hampton was
So
captured.
West
And
Hampton,
we
Hampton
did,
is with their
ambulance.
sure they're all covered
Ambulance.
under ambulance.
Exactly,
Yes.
So we're all
So
good.
We're all good. That's what I thought.
So we also wanted to urge that you keep it on the agenda for
we
the
are.
public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
What, all
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
And it's
That's
on
why
for
we're-
approval today.
Oh yeah,
Great.
that's why we're here.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
So if you want to hear from
No, I'm
Jimmy,
just hoping
okay.
that the 10% would be added to the 10% I already got from the ambulance, but no question that's going to happen.
No, I think,
Right.
I think that it is.
No, it's
all
not.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
after the meeting, Assemblyman Scavone called and, just to
Okay.
make us understand and be aware that West
Okay.
Hampton and Quogue
Right,
are already
right.
covered by the
Okay.
Right.
the
He
ambulance.
called us too.
Yeah, he
Memorial.
called us
Yeah. It was just
Marie and I actually called West Hampton
Yeah,
too,
just
just
to
to make
confirm.
sure.
Okay.
Good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good. So
Thank you,
yeah. So
Cindy.
I just wanted to. So and I'm glad to meet all of you, and thank you, Bill Pell, who has donated seafood to our fun dinner fundraiser. So it's nice to actually meet you in person. So
Actually, it was my daughter.
well, yeah, because Hannah is on our team. So yeah, and
Do it again.
thank you,
It's
thank
very
you,
Guys.
impressive what
Thank
you
you.
all do.
thank you. So yeah. So we yeah.
We're
Thank you.
glad to support this.
All right.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kevin, is there anyone on Zoom for public portion?
No one on Zoom. No one on Zoom.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, then I move to close
Thank you.
the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I know, right? Let's move forward with the resolutions. Town Board Resolution 2025-490, co-sponsored by Councilmember Iacilli. And I'm going to withdraw this resolution because it's been revised and is set forth at the resolution number 571. The Town Board Resolution 2025-548 to authorize the purchase of traffic signal installation and modification with Hink Electrical Contractor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-549 to authorize purchases and installation of solar photovoltaic systems with Eldor Contracting Corp. Using the Suffolk County contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Resolution 550 of 2025, authorized purchases from Cintas for workplace solutions using Omnia Partners contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-551 to authorize purchases of HVAC and air conditioning service and new installation with Premier Mechanical Services, Inc., using the Suffolk County contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-552 to authorize purchases of a mobile computing solutions from Panasonic Connect North America, division of Panasonic Corporation of North America, using Omnia Partners contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-553 to authorize the supervisor to sign any and all documents for the 2026 Child Passenger Safety Incentive Grant through the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-554 to authorize the supervisor to sign any and all documents for the 2026 Police Traffic Safety Grant through the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Resolution 2025-555. Authorize the supervisor to sign Family Service League grant agreement to provide mental health outreach and counseling to youth and families.
Second.
All in favor? It's yours, Cindy.
Town Board Resolution 556 of 2025, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorized supervisor to execute the 2025 Human Understanding and Growth Services HUGS contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Town Board Resolution 557 of 2025, authorizing the supervisor to execute the 2025 Inspirational Triathlon Racing, Inc., DBA iTri contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 558 of 2025, authorize supervisor to renew the purchase of network hardware and software maintenance from Source Pass Contemporary LLC.
Second.
All in favor?
Town Board Resolution 2025-559, authorized supervisor to sign contract extended for supply and fabrication of steel, aluminum, and welding with Pennsylvania Steel Corp. Inc.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-560, authorize supervisor to sign any and all documents for the New York State Public Parks and Recreation Grant Program for the Hampton West Park renovation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Resolution 561 of 2025, co-sponsored with Councilman Martell. Authorize supervisor to sign contract with Lero Engineers, Inc. for professional services related to asbestos project monitoring at 20 South Valley Road, Hampton Bays.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Resolution 562 of 2025, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli. Authorize supervisor to sign contract with Lero Engineers, Inc. to provide professional engineering services for Hampton West Park sports courts and parking lot improvements.
Second.
All in favor?
Town Board Resolution 563 of 2025, authorize the supervisor to execute a service order with Box Incorporated for Business Plus account licenses.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Resolution 564 of 2025, authorize the supervisor to execute a contract with Suffolk County Office for the Aging for expanded in-home services for the elderly.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 565 of 2025, co-sponsored with Councilman Martell. Authorize the supervisor to sign a contract extension with H2M Architects and Engineers to provide professional engineering services for upgrade of SCADA system and upgrade tank monitoring.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-566, authorize supervisor to sign contracts extend with Parkline Asphalt Maintain, Inc. for the application of crack seal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-567, authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with H2M Architects and Engineers for the Fire Island Inlet to Montauk Point project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-568, co-sponsor with Councilman McMahon and more, authorize town to particularly in the Environmental Facility Corporation Clean Vessel Assist Program Operation and Maintain Project to support the Bay Constable's Pump Out Boat Program for 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-569, co-sponsored by the entire board, authorizing the supervisor to execute a contract amendment with First Coastal Corp. As it relates to the North Sea Beach Colony Beach Erosion Control District Nourishment Project pursuant to Town Law 202-B.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-570, co-sponsored by Councilmember Iacilli, to authorize the supervisor to sign a contract amendment with Historical Concepts for professional conceptual design and visioning services for the comprehensive implementation of the Riverside Overlay District zoning.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-571, co-sponsored by Councilmember Iacilli, to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract with Corey Humphrey to provide part-time program coordinator services for the Peconic Estuary Program.
Is this the one that needs to be?
This week did clarify at the agenda review that it was, this is not the Peconic Estuary Partnership. It's a separate program, and it's funded by dues from the county, 6 towns, and 3 villages. And Brookhaven is the committee chair, and the town of Southampton maintains the finances for the group and its receivables, and then we disperse the funds, and this is just to hire
Great.
Corey. And
Second.
it just was modified so to reflect that it's not, we're not spending the money, we're just allocating it.
It's our responsibility in
Yes.
the committee.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Resolution 572 of 2025, award and authorize supervisor to sign contract for Ford 2023 or newer Ford Maverick XL Super Crew with Riley Ford, Inc.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Resolution 573 of 2025, award and authorize supervisor to sign contract with Questmark Information Management, Inc. for printing and mailing of Hampton Bays Water District bills rebid.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-574 to declare items surplus and authorize disposal of vehicles and equipment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-575, co-sponsored by the entire board, to increase certain department heads' authorization to execute program support services agreements under $3,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-576, to recall and amend Resolution Number 2025-369, authorizing the supervisor to execute a no-cost extension of term of contract for the Riverside Sewer District Professional Service Agreement with Leonard Marchese, MBA, CPA.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-577, co-sponsored by the entire board, to recall and amend Town Board Resolution Number 2024-1059, authorize purchases from WB Mason using Suffolk County and Eastern Suffolk BOCES contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-578, recall and amend Town Board Resolution Number 2024-445, authorize the supervisor to execute an extended agreement with L.K. McLean Associates Engineering and Surveying, DPC, as it relates to professional services for the Fire Island Inlet to Montauk Point project.
Second.
And that's just change the source of the funding. All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-579, co-sponsored by Council Members McNamara and Iacilli, to recall and amend Town Board Resolution 2025-498, authorize the supervisor to sign contract extension with M1 Security Solutions for requirements contract for security camera network infrastructure installation and maintenance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-580. 2025 notice to bidders for 30 Club Lane Maintenance Garage.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-581, co-sponsored with Councilman McNamara. 2025 notice to bidders for North Sea Road Shoreline Stabilization.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-582, co-sponsored with Councilman Pell, a 2025 notice to bidders for Town Hall masonry restoration.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I must say one thing, this is very important because we had a leak down in the building and it caused a lot of damage inside the building because it wasn't upkeep over the years.
Yeah.
So this is really important for this building that we take care of it.
Yep, I agree. Town Board Resolution 2025-583, to amend the 2025 budget for various departments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-584, co-sponsored with Councilwoman McNamara, to amend the 2025-2029 capital budget and add capital project Ed Warner Senior Park improvements.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-585, co-sponsored by Councilmember Pell, to authorize general fund pay-as-you-go to purchase a Caterpillar BP 118C broom for waste management.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is just the broom that goes on to the Caterpillar.
Not the whole.
Not the Caterpillar.
Not the Caterpillar. It's to help to keep the parking lot and with it
Yeah.
clean and where the trucks are.
Not for $9,000, it's not the Caterpillar. Town Board Resolution 2025-586, to deposit monies for professional services in connection with the Bridge Golf Course 2025 groundwater monitoring review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-587, the Southampton Volunteer Ambulance Corps Service Award Program.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-588, the West Hampton War Memorial Ambulance Association, Inc. Service Award Program.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-589, to authorize,
Took that one out of order.
oh, this is the Spinney Road.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Town Board Resolution 590 of 2025, resolution of adoption amending Town Code Chapter 312, Vehicles and Traffic, amending and adding parking prohibited in designated locations regulations on a portion of County Road 80, Montauk Highway, East Quogue. This was the housekeeping public hearing we just had.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 591 of 2025, co-sponsored with Councilman Pell. Resolution to adopt amendments to Chapter 111 and 312 in connection with parking by permit only regulations at beaches, parks, and waterways.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 592 of 2025, co-sponsored with Councilman Pell, authorize changing the zoning classification of 3 adjacent parcels with existing commercial businesses, 2000 County Road 39, 2036 County Road 39, and 161 Hill Station Road, from residential R40 to highway business in the hamlet of Shinnecock Hills.
Second.
I need to recuse myself under this version of, our new version of the ethics code, because my adult daughter is employed by one of the applicants, so if there's going to be a discussion, I'll just leave the room.
I did actually just have a brief
You have to leave the room.
refusal.
You may not go with that.
I'm not taking a place, by the way.
It's not gonna take long. I just wanted to briefly, I see that Carl is here, and I just wanted to thank you. I know you tried really hard on this to make this better all along, and I can't support it. I went back to when we changed, I was actually, Councilman Martell and I were actually on the board when this came before us to change from one non-conforming use to another non-conforming use. The planning board comments at that time, they were also asked to look at it as a possible change of zone. They recommended keeping it as a non-conforming use so that the town would retain the most oversight on these parcels because of the traffic situation of 39. They said that site access was problematic. It obviously still is. They asked for cross-access. They asked us actually to limit the expansion of non-conforming uses on these sites to 35% instead of the usual 50%. This time it went back to the planning board. We actually got a recommendation from the planning board that was simply a supporting resolution for this. And I know our planning board usually does a pretty thorough job with providing us comments, so I went back and actually watched the meeting. They did have comments that were not in that resolution, and I actually spoke to Jackie LaFaro this afternoon and told her that I would reiterate their concerns for the record. They had concerns for how the properties could change in the future with so many additional uses. There were concerns regarding overdevelopment of the site and building size, which, in all fairness, planning had told them that would be constrained due to the property size and also sanitation. They again asked for cross-access, and one actually recommendation from both Tom Neely and Kate Fulham that were actually I actually went to the site today, they had recommended increasing the right-of-way to allow for future road widening and or drainage issues. And when I went to the site today, I came off of 27, and it's right there, and there is no shoulder on that roadway. And the way the curbing is set up, you're in the roadway slowing down to make that turn onto the property. And it's really abrupt. I had people on their horn behind me because they just don't expect anybody to turn in there. And also there is a bus stop there, which has nowhere for the bus to get out of the travel lane, which if we increased the right of way there, we could actually facilitate getting that bus off of the road. And to give these sites so many more uses when the hotel is still going to be non-conforming, this is, giving these zones, giving these businesses and these property owners a plethora of extra uses, and the town is really not getting anything out of this. We're not bettering the sites. We're not, we're just giving them more uses on these properties without actually making the sites better. And, based on the traffic report that we just got with the use of highway office business, I would question potentially, maybe residential isn't correct here, but potentially highway, hamlet office or some other, zoning designation that doesn't have as high uses. I mean, in this zoning, I know the Dance Paper site would be precluded from retail, but there's restaurants, there's just so many high traffic uses that all 3 of these sites will be entitled to as of right by changing the zoning here, which will actually increase their property values, I would assume as well. But I can't support this, knowing that, that's been before the planning board twice. They've continued to have the same concerns, and we're really not bettering the situation at any of these sites.
Carl, would you like to say anything?
As was articulated during the public hearing, well, first, I don't know exactly where to begin, but the planning board,
Can I actually? I just is the way the legislation is written. Are we really allowing for more uses, or are we actually kind of constraining the uses of the property? It seems to me that the uses are actually remaining the same as is, and there is no retail, right?
there is no retail that's by covenant
On the dance paper side.
on the dance papers lot. That's right. Councilman Martell, we had a conversation last week, and Councilman Pell during the public hearing about the hotel use. The Councilwoman McNamara is absolutely right. It's still a non-conforming use. It exists by use variance, which cannot be expanded without an amended use variance. So concerns about expansion of the hotel use, this doesn't in any way permit any expanded use of that hotel use. It's still very strictly limited by use variance that was granted some 30 years ago.
So they would still have to go to the planning board? Or
And the
ZBA?
zoning board.
ZBA.
And the zoning board. And anything here, any
Site plan.
change in use here, any attempt to expand would have to go to the planning board anyway. And, the planning board spoke by resolution. I don't know what the individual members said to you, but their resolution was fully and unconditionally supportive of this change of zone.
But stated on the record in that meeting, they asked for that resolution to have those conditions in the resolution, and they were not put in the resolution, is what I'm saying. They asked for the condition of the expanded right-of-way, they asked for the condition of cross-access, and none of those conditions made it into the resolution.
I can't speak to what didn't make it into the resolution. That was the resolution that was adopted. That's all I got to say to that. As for the cross-access, that was a major bone of contention by the applicants. Again, I don't represent all three, but the applicants as a whole did not want cross-access. There was concern about the grade there. There's about a 12-foot difference in grade between the dance papers lot and the hotel lot. There was concern that the thought of cross-access would lead to a cut-through to avoid traffic and go right to Hill Street. If there is any expansion of a use or new use on these properties, they will have to go to the planning board, and as part of the planning board's approval process,
That's where
they
get
could
it.
impose cross-access.
That's when they would get it.
Yeah, that's right.
We're kind of like a little bit early right now.
So right now, this board will change the zone to highway business, if they were to adopt this. Change them from residential, which I think everyone agrees these should not be residential lots. And then if there's any change beyond what exists now to those lots, they would have to go for site plan review, full consideration by the planning board, who has full authority to impose cross-access, who has full authority to impose conditions for entry and exit to the lots, including potential right-of-ways.
In all fairness, they wanted cross-access on the dance paper site when it was created, and they couldn't get it because the hotel property would not allow for it. So that's where I wanted I wanted both properties to agree to a covenanted cross-access agreement in the future if they came to the planning board, because right now, the way it stands, you can't force another property into a cross-access agreement without both parties' consent.
Well, when
if they go in for site plan, they could theoretically be required.
If they both come in for site plan.
Yes.
The chances of them both coming in for site plan are slim to none.
But if the concern is that there's development, then they would naturally have to both come in for site plan.
They'll be back.
I'm just stating my reasons for voting.
I absolutely appreciate
have
your
opinions.
concerns, and I've had many productive and good conversations with Councilwoman McNamara about this, and I totally respect your position.
The right-of-way comment that was made by Kate Fulham and Tom Neely, that was something, even if we couldn't get the cross-access, that would be amazing to have there. If for nothing else, maybe considerations with your client in the future, just because of the access of the property, it's better for them, because right now to get off of Sunrise Highway, it's very dangerous.
I will talk to my clients tonight about that. Maybe we could come in tomorrow with plans for a right-of-way there.
So we have a second.
Thank you.
I second it. So
What do we do without the supervisor?
You vote.
You need to vote, because she's recused herself. She's not part of the discussion now.
Let's call
All in
it.
favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm a no. But I appreciate
We can call it back.
your
in.
work.
Thanks, Carl.
You never, I know I never just say no, if I have to tell you what.
Break's over.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Town Board Resolution 593 of 2025, co-sponsor the Supervisor Moore, accept donation to the Police Department. Once you second it, I'll tell them what it is.
Second.
It's a $26,464 donation of equipment from the Hamptons Health Society.
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 594 of 2025, co-sponsored with council members Iacilli and Martell. Authorization of cost reimbursement waiver for the East Quogue Elementary School Robert J. Long Jr. 5K Run Walk on May 17th, 2025, from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-595, to authorize payment of $3,000 to former employee Brian Rondi as a trial witness, People of the State of New York versus L Square, to include court appearance, testimony preparation, travel, lodging, airfare, food, drink as a flat rate, with any and all incidentals included.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The whole resolution's in the title.
Town Board Resolution 2025-596, co-sponsored by the entire board, for the historic landmark designation of the site recognized as the Rayner Fish House located at 4 Beaver Dam Road, West Hampton.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025, thank you, -598, co-sponsored by Councilwoman McNamara. A resolution accepting a performance bond in connection with the subdivision map known as the Old Stables at Spionk.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-599, the 2025 part-time salaries.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Page 62.
Thank you. Huh, okay. Well, I need to, Town Board Resolution 2025-601, I move to amend
Second.
this resolution to eliminate in the resolved, the third resolved, do you have that change, Cindy? To take out the based on the recommendation of the town engineer, only that he doesn't, not that he doesn't support it, but he wasn't available for the interview.
Give them to me. So,
Delete that.
So I need a second on the, all in favor?
Aye.
Bill?
Yes.
And then as amended, Town Board Resolution 2025-601 is amended to appoint Brittany Benton to Maintenance Mechanic 2 in Municipal Works.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-602, co-sponsored by Councilman Pell, to appoint Daniel Froelich to Harbor Master 1 position in the Southampton Town Police Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-603, to appoint George Valentino to Senior Water Treatment Plant Operator, Type 1B, position from the Civil Service Desk.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025
Sorry, thank you.
604, to appoint Jesse James to Senior Electrical Inspector in the Building Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-605, to rescind Resolution 2025-179, appointment of Public Safety Dispatcher 1.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-606, to appoint Sarah Brown to Public Safety Dispatcher 1 in the Police Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution 2025-607, co-sponsored with the entire board. Notice of hearing amending.
Oh.
Did I miss something?
No, we took that one out of order.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Oh,
That's
we,
the ocean rescue.
no, we didn't take it out of order, though.
Oh, you're right. We just
Yeah.
talked to them about it. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
notice of hearing amending Chapter 298, establishing Article, oh, what did we say this was? 19, Section 298-59, eligibility for a tax exemption on real property for enrolled members of ocean rescue squads.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Town Board Resolution 608 of 2025, co-sponsored with Supervisor Moore. Notice of hearing to accept an agricultural easement in connection with the subdivision known as Kamakuto LLC Hamlet of Watermill.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm pronouncing it.
Okay, and then we have the two walk-ons. Town Board Resolution ID number 49697, a resolution supporting the creation of an intermunicipal agreement with the County of Suffolk, Village of Sag Harbor, and Town of Southampton to mutually manage real property located at 55 West Water Street, Sag Harbor, Suffolk County Tax Map number 903-2-1-26.2, also known as Silly Farm.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Town Board Resolution 49698, which is the warrant number 8, capital number 8, CPF number 8, dated April 22nd, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, if there's no other business, then I move to close the meeting.
I'd like to say a few things, ma'am.
Please do.
We all noticed that outside it got blacktop last week,
Yes, that
And
was
strike.
very nice.
and they did a pretty good job, except this one stripe which is crooked.
I saw it.
And I'm not gonna say which it is because Nick was very surprised that I caught it. So everyone else can look, see if they can find it. It's green, by the way.
Yeah.
Then I got a text, which I followed up with a phone call to one of the people who visit the transfer station to dump some stuff off. And he texted me that I spoke to him. I met your new employee, Mr. Highsmith. He's very nice. Young man, seriously, he's very pleasant and very helpful. He's a new employee, and that's what kind of employees we need. And I drove up there, I saw him over the weekend, he was moving a dryer, and he was smiling, talking to people, and he was actually waving to other employees to come over and help him and help people do it.
Very nice.
And actually called his father and told his father
Oh,
this.
good.
I'm sure he appreciated that.
Yes. And the highway is repaving Holzman's estate in Hampton Bays. And good ground is all done and it's safe now. And all striped. The stripes are straight there, I hope.
And Noyak is done.
And Noyak is done
Excellent.
and some of those are crooked.
No.
Yeah, because the road is crooked.
Oh. Well, thank you for those updates. Anybody else? All right, then I
Oh, yeah,
move-
I have one
Oh,
more thing too.
what?
I keep on getting calls about the Zoom meeting. As far as I know, I don't think it's gonna go any farther. When we first looked into it, had the public hearing, we were told that other towns were gonna do away with it, but that's not true. And I get phone calls, one today, I keep on getting emails, and people stop me, they don't want the Zoom to stop, they want to continue. So we should put it out there if we're gonna go further with this, or it's just gonna let it go away and keep the Zoom.
Has it been closed? What's the status?
Public hearing was closed.
We closed the public hearing and
closed the
left it
public
open for 2 weeks for comments,
Yeah.
written comments, which has expired now, I believe. Yeah.
So I have no interest in pushing it forward myself, but I'm only 1 out of 5. I just wanna make people know, so I stop getting phone calls on it.
Tell them to call someone else.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
those updates, Bill. All right, I move to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.